Are they not going to say anything at all? Hello. Hello? Boom, boom. Is this Morse code? Am I meant to know Morse code? And one dot is a dot is E.
Who's that knocking? Ray? What are you doing here? Who did this to you?
I'll explain everything later. Quick, untie me.
I can do that, but only on one condition.
Just say it. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Within my power, of course.
You need to prove to everyone else that I'm not crazy so I can get discharged.
Consider it done. I knew you weren't crazy a long time ago.
Perfect. Then you can get me out of here.
Well, I'll do my best, but remember, I'm just a caregiver. The doctors are the ones who have the final say. Oh, speaking of doctors, Jennifer's in the room next door. We gotta save her, too.
Dr. Jennifer? Doctor? Doctor, wake up!
Thought so.
Where am I? What happened?
Someone apparently knocked you out. Got some blood on you there.
I remember that much. But why am I in the bathroom?
Can't help you there. Wait, you went out cold, Ray. What happened? Huh?
Hey, what are you... Ray! What the fuck? You killed her!
She'll be fine. Anyway, better her than us, right?
What are you even talking about? What's going on?
Okay, so here's what happened. While you were treating patient number 68 earlier, you remember that, right? I was talking with James. The two of us heard this loud noise all of a sudden, so I went to check. Turns out 68 broke the window and took off. By the time I came to check up on you, you were already out cold. Had this cracked ashtray next to you, too. This got me all in a panic. So I didn't notice that the gate to the inpatient sector wasn't locked. Next thing I knew, a bunch of patients had all gotten out. They charged me, tied me up, and threw me in the bathroom. Then they dragged you in after I was tied up.
Jesus Christ. Then Nellie was in on this too? She doesn't really strike me as the violent type.
I don't know about that, but I'm not taking any risks. They're all crazy. Who knows what they're capable of?
But what is it they're trying to do? And why didn't you call the police when you had the chance?
Everything happened so fast. 1 second, I was trying to figure out what happened to you. The next, those psychos jumped me.
Huh? Where's my phone? Don't tell me they took it.
Oh, wait. Oh. God damn it, it's gone!
What?
Thought so. So, first of all, if just thinking about it logically, we know it's not Elvira and Tony because they're looking for him. McMurphy or Oscar, it doesn't matter which one's which, but they're both looking for him. Mr. Director's looking for him. Jennifer's not him because she's just one of the caregivers. George is the doctor, so I assume he's not, and he gets knocked out and they leave him. Maestro, I think he's just a distraction. Nellie's been knocked out, has got no connection. He's wondering where it is, which I assume is the TV remote.
I found something else. You know, caregivers aren't allowed to bring phones inside the hospital. You know, that's the rule here.
Well, that's stupid. What do we do now then? We can't even call the police. How many people did you see in here earlier? Don't tell me everyone is in on this.
I saw Clep, Silver Spoon, Oscar. Oh, right. And Mr. Director. I'm telling you, it was chaos. There might have been more of them. I don't know.
And all of them working together? They're not even suffering from the same illness. This is certainly a first. What do you think they're trying to do? Escape?
They took the keys, but as far as I know, they haven't left. All I could tell was that Mr. Director seemed to be the ringleader. Something about manipulation and brainwash.
Then it's a coup?
A coup?
Yeah, they want to take over the hospital. That's why they didn't escape. You haven't seen George, have you?
No. Maybe he's still in the treatment room?
Is that an alarm?
Probably somebody's alarm clock. I wouldn't worry about it.
Then what do we do? It's only a matter of time before they find us here.
Honestly, I think the two of us can hold them off. Klept, he's basically a stick. Oscar's a wuss. Silver Spoon's lucky if he isn't fighting himself. And Mr. Director, he's an old man. The only reason they got the jump on me last time was because they caught me off guard. But you and we'll have the element of surprise next time.
Why don't we just sneak into the director's office and use the landline to call the police?
Hey, good idea.
Come on, let's go. Stay calm. We've got this. No looking around, just stay quiet and fun.
Okay. So listen again, but we know that this guy's actually... Okay, well, we know this guy's McMurphy because the other guy's Oscar. Then we can start thinking about the answer to the who are the real mental patient question. So we know that... I assume real is people who haven't gone in on their... kind of on... Well, Maestro is, because he's being treated. Spoon is... Emily is. I think that's it. I think Maestro is, depending on what the question. Submit. Oh, what? Oh. All 14 sound sources need to have the correct name attached. Right now, 12 of them are correct. And I need one of them's wrong. That's frustrating. Right, well, let's investigate the Oscar Klepp thing, because it might be... Wait, what? Okay, these guys are the wrong way around then. Because I was thinking, oh, he's the guy in there, but actually this guy was also... I'm really confused because, right, Emily is Maestro. Maybe I was right the first time taking Maestro off. All names marked correctly. Missed one. Maybe Klepp is. There should be more real patients. Okay. Oh, who are the what? Okay. So does it mean like, right, no. Oh, I see. I get it. You're not actually asking me the question of who's... Oh, I thought they meant who are the actual people who are supposed to be patients. So director, nurse, caregiver, doctor, Nellie, and who was James? James, yes. So James would be a yes. There shouldn't be this many real patients. No. Right. Well, we're told 4 aren't real, so we take Nellie out. I mean, this is the thing, is I know that, like... Okay, maybe Mr. Director is, so we'll take off Oscar and McMurphy. We'll take out James... Klepp. What? What are you asking? Who are the real mental patients? So, who are actually patients? Not George, Bap. These are the people who are actually patients. I think. Oh wait, hang on. Take out McMurphy. Take out Nellie. Actually, let's listen to him talk about the people who charged him.
my phone something else.
So we'll scroll it backwards a bit.
That's what they're capable of.
Don't even know the same thing. Blah 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 blah.
This got me all in a panic. So I didn't notice that the gate to the inpatient sector wasn't locked. Next thing I knew, a bunch of patients had all gotten out. They charged me, tied me up, and threw me in the bathroom. Then they dragged you in after I was tied up.
Jesus Christ. Then Nellie was in on this too? She doesn't really strike me as the violent type.
I don't know about that, but I'm not taking any risks. They're all crazy. Who knows what they're capable of?
But what is it they're trying to do? And why didn't you call the police?
While you were treating patient number 68 earlier, you remember that, right? I was talking with James. The two of us heard this loud noise all of a
Right,
sudden,
James.
so I went to check. Turns out 68 broke the window and took off. By the time I came to check up on you, you were already out cold.
Right, so James is, Clep is, right. If they mean people who are actually should be in here. James is faking it. That shouldn't be this many. I don't know what you're asking. I don't know what you're asking. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness. Ugh! No, I didn't want to do that. Who have I got? Mr. Director, Maestro, Spoon, Emily, Clapp. Okay, it was the Mr. Director I needed to add. That's fine. But I was close there.
Excellent work, Detective.
Yay!
I have just one last question for you.
Last question? Lights? Wait, who am
I
I?
have just one last question for you. Who are you?
Wait, what? I can't move. Who am I? I'm in the mental asylum, aren't I? Detective? I don't actually know, and I can't move.
Congratulations, Detective. You passed the final test. By now, you've probably realized the last case was mixed with some of the voices from previous ones. It threw the other testers into a state of deep confusion, but you didn't lose yourself like they did.
Yay.
Which means you are now qualified to call yourself a true acoustic detective. Since you've mastered the system, you can take it with you. You never know when it might come in handy. And if you hear any residual voices or auditory hallucinations, I trust you'll master those too. In time. That concludes the exam, Detective. Thank you again for participating. It exceeded all of my expectations. You're free to leave whenever you like.
I don't like this. I don't trust you. This is the mental asylum, isn't it? This is part of their test.
Thank you again for participating. It exceeded all of my expectations. You're free to leave whenever you like.
Let me ask you again. Who are you?
Hey, buddy. Oh, come on, it's me.
State your name.
You don't recognize your old pal?
What is going on? Okay, no. Wow, that went really weird. That last bit just messing with my head. Oh, that was it. Okay. I could have... I might have been able to have just done this in one session. Okay. That was not what I was expecting. I think it's very short. I would have liked to have seen more coming. The way she was talking about the final test, I thought that was going to be the end. That we'd be getting to the end, which kind of bothers me. I think, to be fair, I think there were some parts in that last mission where it felt like they'd run out of ideas of what they were going to do and what they were doing with things. So in a way, it's probably best that it stopped here. Although I would have liked to have seen more. I think that last mission didn't feel as tight as the previous 4. I think it was 4. Just with the way some of the characters were working, some of the writing was. I'm fairly sure that Mr. Director was actually part of the gang that had come along, so I don't think he was a real patient like they said, which is slightly bothersome. When you've got a puzzle like that, if you start kind of having issues of issues with kind of getting that communicating the answer, there are issues. Actually, that last one we didn't see the conclusion, although maybe we weren't meant to. It'd be interesting to see like what they could do with this in future. I'd like to see more of this. I'd like to see subtitles. I know they've decided not to include them, but I think it probably would have been very useful certainly for like recording. It would have been a lot more useful. There's a lot of different crimes they could have done. I think, and built up to. I mean, because we met the ghost several times. I think like they referenced him back. They referenced back to him in that final crime, and that final map. And I think it would have been quite interesting to have had more and more interactions with him, building up to a crescendo of he's finally arrested. I think it was the last 2 he was in. I think. I did like the fact that we had interweaving things. We had things from prior cases in that final one. But I think it would have been really nice to have just seen a kind of a grand conclusion to the game. The ending of this game just felt like, okay, you've solved 5 puzzles, here we go. And I think it would have been nice to have had an overarching story, rather than just having the framing device we had of, we're doing a test. I'm not entirely sure what we were testing, and I think that's another problem, is even the framing device didn't have a real conclusion to it, which would have been quite nice. So, kind of, as someone who really likes narrative in games, it's kind of a bit lacking. It was kind of a bit lacking to not really have kind of a conclusion to the in puzzle story. Like, we've got 2 different names for Ghost, and he's never captured. It'd be really nice to probably push that on and have him be arrested. Whereas at the second time, I mean, maybe because he was still at the mental hospital, that means they've kind of got everyone and they're going to find the ghost. But I think it would also be nice to have a better conclusion to the kind of the framing device they had. So we're testing this out to become audio detectives, and at the end we just have the issues of the kind of auditory hallucinations and all those other all the issues going on, and the overstimulation through sound. But I think I would have liked to have seen some kind of conclusion to that. Maybe have us investigate who knows what about the side effects, so that other people aren't affected by it, to protect them. And there's a really interesting way they could go with that. I think, to some extent, this feels more like a proof of concept, that this kind of puzzle game can work, and it does work. The idea works. It's just I'd like to have more of it, and I think that probably is a good sign. I think it's actually doing quite well on Steam, so I think it does seem quite widely liked, and I think people do want to see it more and more and see it succeed. Which is good. I think they're coming out with a DLC. Well, they've come out with it in Chinese. I think in English it comes out in August. We might have a look at that, depending on what people think of it think of this, and if I have a free slot around then. So yes, there we go, Unheard. We went through the credits. I wonder what the options are. So we've got credit, select, so we can go back and forth and we can have a look through the various options. So Raven was the third one. I thought, that's the thing, is that it was Raven. He was the guy who, to do with the mental hospital. I wonder if that's kind of the point, is you've got loads of different things. So you've got the maestro from the Empty Frames. I can't remember if we had anyone from Twins show up. But we had the character of the Raven, so from Raven, called the Ghost, which was a thing in the theatre. So I wonder if they've deliberately kind of mashed together for the tests these different stories to make the final one. I don't know. Again, it's another thing that wasn't properly explored or wasn't explained and kind of concluded, which would have been really kind of a good thing to have. But as I said, I think this is a fairly cheap game, and so it does feel like somewhat of proof of concept, and they probably could have done more with it. Hence, proof of concept is it proves it works. It proves people want to play this kind of game, and then they can start considering how they're going to make it, how they're going to get it to work. And I hope they do. I hope there's more stuff for this game that we can play, which will be very fun. There we go. Fun little game, Unheard. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.